What's good, everybody? Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira is going down this weekend. We got some pretty good fights here. First off, I want to say I'm very, thankful for everybody, tuning into the last video. I appreciate all the support. And if you're new, man, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be pumping out content a lot. But yeah, I'm going to go over this card, man. It's okay. Some shitty matchups here, but I'll get my best picks I can. All right. Let's get right into it. First up. Oh boy, Robelis Despaigne taking on Austen Lane. Now, Robelis Despaigne is a massive favorite here, and I kind of understand it, but bro, this guy just completely showed how bad his takedown defense is. Waldo Cortez Acosta is not a wrestler, okay? Austen Lane actually can wrestle, okay? And I know this is crazy, but I'm literally gonna pick Austen Lane to win this fight. First of all, I want to say, look, Robelis Despaign's a problem on the feet, obviously. He's very long, athletic, and extremely powerful. He's got a very long reach. But when I look at Austen Lane, he's big as shit too. The guy's 6'6", and no, he doesn't move as well as Robelis Despaigne. No, he's not as good of an athlete, but I still think Austen Lane is a pretty good athlete. His striking is not the best. He's had success with it sometimes, but he seems to get kind of overwhelmed and intimidated, and that could be a very big problem here. But, man, I don't know where the hell Robelis Despaigne trains, okay? This guy is at some fucking crazy gym. I don't know where he trains at, man. Maybe I would think different if he went to a real training camp and actually, had credentials and maybe, could teach him more wrestling. I don't know. Obviously, he's going to be learning it, but I don't know who he's learning it from. And I know that Austen Lane is a decent wrestler, okay? He's at Extreme Couture. He fought Ioanta Deniz, where we've seen what Ioanta Deniz has been. He beat Carl Williams, who is a good wrestler, and stuffed all of Carl Williams' takedowns, okay? And Austen Lane was able to hold Ioanta Deniz down for the first round. The whole round he held him down. And to me, Ioanta Deniz is actually, his takedown defense is actually pretty good. So I think, honestly, man, I'm going to pick Austen Lane to win this fight. He's pretty active on the ground. He definitely could get knocked out in the first round or the second round. But I actually think he's a little bit underrated, okay? He's lost to Tafa. He's lost to Deniz. His chin is not great, and his defense is horrible as well. But, man, I can't look past the Despaigne getting taken down and held down by a striker in Waldo Cortez Acosta. And Lane is stronger. He's a better grappler than Cortez Acosta. He's not a great striker. And I hope he doesn't entertain the striking, but he's at Extreme Couture. I expect him to take him down immediately, okay? If he doesn't, then he's just, an idiot. But I can't count on Lane not to do it. I would be surprised, if we just seen him get taken down and held down by Waldo Cortez Acosta. And you would not do that, okay? I think Austen Lane is going to do that, and I think he's going to beat Robelis Despaigne. Oh, man, he might even be able to get a submission, man. We'll see, but it's a very risky pick. I mean, he's plus 350 for a reason, but I just can't. There's no way I can pick Despaigne, man. I don't like him. Next up, Gene Matsumoto taking on Brad Katona. This one's a bit of an interesting one because I actually think Brad Katona is actually, pretty good. He can find a way to win. He just lost to Garrett Armfield in a pretty close fight. I did think Garrett Armfield won the fight. I think it was a split decision in Canada. He almost got the home job. But Brad Katona is a little, he can work. I mean, I think Matsumoto's going to win this one. I was a little questionable about his cardio in the Argueta fight, but he really, showed how great his cardio is. He beat Dan Argueta, submitted him, and had to fight through a lot of adversity. Now, I don't think Brad Katona is going to come out there and try to wrestle like Dan Argueta. I mean, Dan Argueta was just shooting takedowns every second. But yeah, Matsumoto's got really good calf kicks. He's got really good kicks in general. I think he's the more athletic, the bigger, and better guy on the feet. Brad Katona, he can land at a high volume, but man, it's like you're getting hit by a little kid, right? There's nothing behind him. Matsumoto's going to hit harder. I think Katona's got a little bit better boxing. But I think, Matsumoto's going to kill the calf of Katona. And it's going to be hard for Katona to move around. And I think just Matsumoto's a little bit better. I like Matsumoto by a decision. I could see it being a 29-28. Maybe the third round, Brad Katona comes out there and out-volumes him. I could see that. But I think overall Matsumoto is going to get this one done. Next up, interesting. We got Matheus Nicolau taking on Almabayev. Okay. Almabayev is a great wrestler. He's a great chain wrestler, and I do think in this fight he can get Matheus Nicolau to the ground. Matheus Nicolau has like a 94% takedown defense, but I don't think he's faced a level of wrestler like this, okay? You know what I mean? Almabayev has a really good tendencies to chain wrestle. He's a very good wrestler. With that being said, I think when it's on the feet, I think Nicolau's way better. Nicolau's a little bit low volume. He moves laterally a ton. But when he blitzes in with hooks, it's very hard for people to read. He sets up the shots. You know, he is a little bit chinny, but I don't see any threat from Almabayev. Like, the dude he's not good on the feet at all, man. He's going to be shooting a lot of takedowns. I'm picking Matheus Nicolau. I think he's much better. I think he might even be able to knock Almabayev out. I really like the overhands in his lead hook when he comes into the pocket. It's hard to read, man, and it's powerful, too. Matheus Nicolau hits a lot harder. He's a lot better on the feet. You know, the boxing of Almabayev is horrible, okay? You know, similar to a guy I know by the name of Shavkat Rakhmonov. They're both from Kazakhstan. So maybe those guys need to go work with the boxing team because it's not looking great. But his kicking game is pretty good. He'll throw the wheel kick, you know, throw the calf kick, and they're pretty solid. But I just feel like, man, Matheus Nicolau, he's going to be able to stuff takedowns, I think. I think Asu might be able to get him to the ground once or twice. I just think Nicolau's a lot better, man. I think this is too much of a step up. And I haven't been that impressed with Almabayev. I'm going to be honest, man. I saw CJ Vergara tagging him up a lot. And if you're getting tagged up by CJ Vergara, Matheus Nicolau is going to land a lot of shots on you, okay? So I think Matheus Nicolau, like I said, can hurt him and maybe even get a TKO. But I'm going to go the decision way. I think Matheus Nicolau gets a pretty easy decision here. Next up. Oh, man. We got a old head fight here. We got... Darren Elkins taking on Daniel Pineda. Man, bro, Darren Elkins has taken a ton of damage, dude. I don't even know how this guy's still in the UFC. I can't even remember the last dude he fought. He's horrible, the guy he fought, and kind of just broke him down with that same style he does to everybody. You know, I have to say this because obviously the guy's name is The Damage, but, bro, like, I feel like if you put, like, a thumbtack, like, right above his eyebrow, he would start, like, gushing blood. Like, it would just, like, open up a massive, like, gouge. And, like, this dude's just not, man, he's too old, bro. He's got severe brain damage. You know, he grinds out fight. He's a pretty good scrambler, good wrestler, decent control and pressure, good cardio. But, man, it's clearly evident to me that Daniel Pineda is a lot better. He's fought a lot better competition. He had success versus, oh my gosh, why can't I remember his name? Nathaniel Wood. He had a little bit of success, reverse positions a lot. I think, you know, on the feet, Pineda's going to be a lot better. He wants to, you know, get the finish early, and that could be a little bit of a problem because I think if he takes his fight slow, he'll easily win, okay? He can stuff takedowns from Elkins, and even if he, you know, stuffs or gets taken down, he'll reverse position. He's really, really good on the ground. It's hard for me to see Darren Elkins winning this fight, okay? And I know his, you know, motto is taking damage and coming back, and I just think Pineda's a lot better, man. You know, he hits hard. He's very, very dangerous on the ground. I think the wrestling advantage is definitely in Elkins. You know, his pressure is pretty good. His takedown entries are okay. I think Pineda's going to win this one easily. I think he'll smoke him in the first, probably a first-round KO from Pineda. He does hit hard, and I think, you know, maybe a club and sub too. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to pick Daniel Pineda here. I'm not, like, crazy confident. I mean, this fight fucking sucks, honestly, but we'll see what happens. Next up. Jake Hadley taking on short notice replacement Cameron Smotherman, I believe. That's right. Cameron Smotherman's kind of a striker. He is a striker, not kind of. He's got some pretty big pop. He's not that fast. He's pretty stationary. He doesn't move his head well. Not the best wrestler. His boxing is okay. He works the body well, which I do like. You know, I just think, like, if we're going to talk skill for skill here, he's not ready. Jake Hadley is, you know, really fast. He's going to be the faster guy, more movement, as well as he can definitely take Smotherman down. I think he's got really good entries. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. I don't expect a lot of, resistance from Cameron Smotherman. I think we'll see a second round submission or an easy cruise decision for Jake Hadley. Smotherman's okay. He's only 26 or something. He might have time to get back to the UFC, or I guess he's already in it now, but he fought Gergolampos. I don't even know how to say the dude's name, who is horrible, and he's about to get cut probably, and he lost on the Contender Series. Granted, it was an early stoppage. Sheralampos or something. He trains with Marab. He's horrible, though. He's horrible. And Smotherman lost him on the Contender Series. I like his striking. I think it's okay, but I think Hadley's much, much faster, and when it comes to the ground, I think he's way better. So I'm going to pick Hadley to win this fight. I'm going to go with a dominant 30-27 decision. Next up. Okay, Charles Johnson taking on Sumudaerji. Look, man, I think this is a bit of an interesting matchup because Sumudaerji's kind of like a mirror matchup, right? Not really, but in the terms of the size, right? They're both very long and rangy flyweights, and I don't think, both of these guys have faced a frame like each other, so I think it's going to be a little bit weird for both of them. I think I'm going to pick Charles Johnson here. I like his elusiveness. He gets out of the way of shots. And I think if he just wrestles here, I think he can easily win and have a lot of success there. Sumudaerji has been taken down a lot. Charles Johnson on the feet, I think he might get the better of Sumudaerji. I don't really like Sumudaerji at all, man. I really am not high on the guy at all. He's got a pistol of a left, but that's about it. His kicking is okay. He's kind of fast, but I think Charles is faster. He's more elusive. I like that. He moves out of the way. He's good footwork. And I think he'll just, pop him up, maybe get a takedown. But I like a decision here from Charles Johnson. I think if he mixes in the wrestling, he'll have success because I think he'll do okay on the feet and win minutes on the feet. I really do. I think he's a lot better than Sumudaerji. I don't really like him at all, but he's also had a long layoff too. So we'll see what happens. But I think Charles Johnson decision here is probably what I'd go for. Next up, the co-main event, Rob Font taking on Kyler Phillips. Man, this is an interesting one, okay? Because Kyler Phillips, last time out, man, Pedro Munoz looked incredible. He really, really surprised me. Just beat the hell out of Pedro Munoz. He blitzes in with that 1-2. He's very tall and lanky for the division, as well as Font, who's pretty tall for the division as well. He's athletic. Kyler Phillips moves well. Great footwork. He'll throw spinning kicks. He throws kicks at the end of his combinations. He really looked like a world beater in front of Pedro Munoz, which was literally a perfect stylistic matchup. I mean, he beat the hell out of Pedro Munoz. It was an easy 30-27, no big moments really at all from Pedro Munoz. When it comes to the ground game of Kyler Phillips, I actually think it's very good. I think, in this matchup, he can take Rob Font down. Rob Font has shown, obviously, look, Corey Sandhagen's a pretty good wrestler. I think Kyler Phillips is maybe not as good of a wrestler, but still decent enough. He's got great jiu-jitsu as well. Kyler Phillips looks really good. And I had to go back and I watched another one where he fought, I can't even remember the dude's name. Oh, Hani Barcelos, that was it. And it kind of looked a little bit iffy, all right? He looked a little bit gassed due to the pressure of Barcelos. And that's kind of what Rob Font is about, right? He's got good pressure. He loves to throw that jab out there and, pressure you and break you down pretty much. Rob Font is 37 years old. But I think if he does that game plan, he can have some success. I just don't know about the durability. It's definitely declined. I mean, he's never been TKO'd officially, but the dude's been rocked a lot. Figgy rocked him. Sandhagen, I believe, had him hurt. Cheeto had him hurt. So the durability's definitely going. He's not as fast as he used to be. Kyler Phillips is going to have a major, major speed advantage. As well as the ground game of Font hasn't looked good at all. I just think, Phillips is coming into his prime. I really, really did like his performance versus Munoz. Legit killed Munoz, beat his ass. Performed a lot better against Munoz than Vera did. So, yeah, Kyler Phillips has a lot of upside. I just think, if Rob Font can pressure him on the fence, it could be a little bit iffy, right? Phillips is very explosive. He's fast. He's got a pistol of a right hand. He'll throw the 1-2. It's very fast. He's got wheel kicks. He's good in the clinch. This guy's looking really, really good, as well as he's really, really good on the ground. And I know I'm kind of glazing, but I think the pressure of Rob Font could get to him. So it makes me a little nervous, but I think the right spot is Phillips here. He's younger, more athletic, and just, man, off that performance versus Munoz, it was very, very impressive. He, like I said, beat the hell out of Munoz. Obviously, the guy can't be finished, obviously, but it was a really impressive performance and kind of made me realize how impressive or how good the guy is. So I think the right spot is Kyler Phillips. I could see Rob Font going out there and, stealing the second and third round and winning a split decision. I do think that's possible because I don't know about the gas tank. It looked good versus Munoz, looked bad against Barcelos, who was actually pressuring more than Munoz really did. So I think I'm going to go Kyler Phillips decision here. I think that's the right pick. Next up, the main event, man. This is a hell of a matchup, okay? I saw the line, and I think it was minus 140 for Fluffy, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to hammer this. But, man, I got to go back and watch Michel Pereira, and the dude is fucking dangerous, and he's good. He's very, very good, man. Both of these guys, to me, are better than a lot of the people in front of him, right? Delidze, I feel like both these guys are better than. Vittori, probably both these guys are better than. So I think, when I look at this matchup, I see two very, very good and dangerous guys. Obviously, you got Fluffy on one hand, who is a monster, man. I rewatched him, and he is a fucking machine, dude. This guy is crazy. The Vieira fight, the Kopylov fight, man, the Shabazian fight, man. This dude is insane with the cardio, pressure, and just willingness to break you. There's one bad thing about him that I really, really do not like, and I think he's a little bit slow, okay? He's open to counters, sloppy on the feet. He can get reversed on the ground, but none of that even matters when, he can fucking keep coming at you the whole fight. And with 5 rounds, man, I think it's really going to benefit him here. Early on in the fights, every fight, he's very patient and doesn't throw a lot, which concerns me because you look at a guy like Michel Pereira, who ever since he moved up to middleweight, has been finishing people in the first round, and he's always dangerous in the first round. Michel Pereira is fast as shit. He's got a massive right hand that he'll throw. His body kicks are underrated. He'll throw them, and they land a lot. And, we've seen Fluffy get fucked up to the body by Kevin Holland. So I definitely think in the first round it's going to be extremely dangerous. And I could see Michel Pereira going out there and finishing Fluffy in the first. I could, because I think that he, possesses that kind of power, especially at middleweight. We see the 93% takedown defense from Michel Pereira. A little bit fraudulent, man. You know what I mean? I think he does have great BJJ, and I think he does have good takedown defense, but the guys he's facing, I believe the best grappler he's fought is probably Andre Petroski. And Andre Petroski didn't even he didn't even get to shoot a takedown because he got finished so fast. But, Santiago Ponzinibbio was able to take him down momentarily. I think Anthony Hernandez, he can definitely break him, okay? There's no doubt with me saying, like, this guy can break anybody. But Michel Pereira, I do think, is breakable, all right? He slowed down in the Ponzinibbio fight. Obviously, look, the run he's at middleweight is great, but you got to look back at the competition, man. Ihor Potieria, not really good, okay? You got, Andre Petroski, not really good. Mikhail Zajic, not great. This is a massive, massive step up in competition, okay? I don't think Michel Pereira's fought anybody this good. And it's hard for me to see Fluffy losing, man. I'm going to be honest, because the guy is really durable. He's got a really big heart, and he wants to come forward the whole fight, and he's not going to give up. And, man, the way he's just getting his ass kicked by Shabazian, Kopylov in those first 2 minutes, man. Kopylov was killing that body. Shabazian was killing the body. And I've seen a lot of people go to the body where Fluffy is notoriously kind of soft there, and he still kept coming forward. Vieira was another one. Insane, right? So I think this is a hell of a fight, man. I could definitely, I'm going to see what the number is, but if Michel Pereira first round is a decent number, I definitely could take it because Fluffy starts off slow. I think, it would benefit Michel Pereira to kind of take it a little bit slow in the first round. I do, because it's a 5-round fight. None of these guys have gone 5 rounds, but there is a clear cardio advantage with, Anthony Hernandez. The guy will not stop coming forward. I think by the 4th round, man, it's going to be rough if it gets there. First and second could be Michel Pereira. I think he will stuff takedowns in the first as well as the second, but he could also land a bomb. So it's a fight where I could definitely see it going both ways, but I think the safer side and the clear side has to be Anthony Hernandez. This guy has performed really well. it's hard for me to see him losing. Obviously, not the only way, but a major way I could see him losing is a first round, finish, first or early second round finish from Michel Pereira, kind of a right hand or a body kick, something like that. And yeah, man, I think this is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm really excited for this fight in general, or specifically this fight, because I like both of these guys. I think really both of them are very talented, but we'll see what happens, man. I hope y'all boys enjoyed, and I hope I do good. I'll catch y'all in the next one.